make this day even worse,
there's like no gold in the box.
It looks like we have less gold than we started with. This sucks. This is probably one of the most demoralizing dives I've ever had. What up? It's the best day of the year. 2 days after solstice, spot calm water, sunny day, good gold. More could a diver want. There was something pretty wild and crazy that happened yesterday. That was a very powerful reminder of just how dangerous the job is. It only takes one unplanned event to give you like the proper fear and respect of just how powerful that suction nozzle is. So they made a kind of a small movement on the boat, and it made the nozzle catch the current. And the current made the nozzle just like whip out like that. Well, the breaker flap is closed because I'm dredging. And then it took off. And so I just hung on, and I just got dragged along like, whoa, and I'm talking on the communications, telling them what's going on. Said, hey, I'm going for a ride. This thing is taking off. My feet were on the ground, but the nozzle was up. And so I was trying to pull it back down. And anyway, as I pulled myself up, it turned around, and when it grabbed on very violently. And the flap was shut. So it was like full power, boom! And it's got me here and the hose here, and I'm reaching around to the other side, trying to grab the handle that opens the breaker flap, because that'll make it stop sucking on me. And I was able to do that. So I instinctually, I wanted it to turn off. But our habit is to say idle down. What I meant to say was turn it off.
Oh, yeah.
And after that, I just climbed up the hose away from the nozzle and hung out for a second and kind of like recollect myself and be like, okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. And then I did what a good cowboy does. I just got back on the saddle and I dredged for another hour.
Oh, good.
Which is the thing to do.
First thing we did was clean the top mat. The gold looks awesome, but we discovered a potential gold loss at a critical juncture where the flare meets the top of the box. These should be flush with each other, but instead there's like a half-inch gap in it. It's allowing for some material possibly to escape at the back and back into the ocean. And there's about a 1/4 inch gap underneath here where there's gold coming out. So there is probably some gold loss at this point, and I don't think it's something that we can easily deal with out here right now. And we're not losing much, but basically as soon as it's windy, we've got to fix this problem. Dan's been down about an hour and a half, and he's quiet, he's on good gold. He basically kind of started the dive a little bit all over the place, kind of checked here, checked there, and then basically ended up where Alex left off. You got the marker buoy and pulled it up. Just trying to get the hours in. Right now, so far, no big problems. Alright, I'm gonna do a little check-in with Dan, see how things are going here.
Everything's going really good. Working some really good pay. It's about a foot deep of some really good gold. Everywhere I go, there's more of it. Kind of can't go wrong in this spot. There's just gold everywhere. And even though there's a strong current, I'm able to stay put. I think I want to put an anchor marker down right where I'm working. This is some really good stuff.
All right, the man has returned. How you feeling?
It was a victorious endeavor. We need about 20 more days just like that.
I just pressed
Okay, what are we looking at? Holy moly! Look at that. Gold, 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 gold. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's all super fines. There's no chunkies at all. That's what I've been seeing.
That's fines with me.
It's fines with me. We'll take it. Ounces.
about 6 o'clock or so. Going out for not really night shift, but kind of like the late afternoon shift here. We got Ross's new mask is coming in tomorrow, so Ross is still out of the water, so I'm gonna get in and yeah, hopefully have a full productive dive.
Alex has been down for pretty close to about 4 hours. All right, Alex, tell me what you're seeing down there, man. Have you seen any signs of like where Dan was working today?
Oh yeah, I'm in the pit, you know. Basically, Dan made a big pit, and I'm just expanding the pit, making it even bigger. There's kind of gold everywhere. Like, there really is a pretty good sign. It's interesting stuff. Like, I'm seeing gold here and there. I can't tell if it's like going to be a great dive or it's going to be just like an average one. And we'll have to look at the box and see how it is at the end of the dive. That'll tell us.
Oh my gosh. Bro. That is like, there's so much gold there. Bro, it's piling up over here. It's piling up in the middle. It never piles up over here. Look at that riffle. That's just packed solid. Yeah, we're really on some stuff.
Gonna get in there and crush it?
That's what we're here for, just crush it. And I feel like we're starting to get into the grind where we're just every day, do it again, do it again. I really do want to come home, be able to make my kids proud, and it means so much for us. This gold that I'm getting is not for fun. I'm buying freedom. That's what I'm doing. If I don't get this gold, I have to go and take whatever job I can get just to pay the bills. If I can get this gold, our family has the freedom to do what we want. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I wasn't seeing any gold for a while, so I gotta move. And we just looked around and found lots and lots of sand. But now we're on a spot where I see some cobble and some big boulders. So give this a try. And I see a little bit of gold, so there is hope.
I just moved down about as far northwest as the boat will go in this anchor set. And we're on a waypoint, like we're literally moved to a waypoint called Sand that we made last year in like August. And I think it's kind of interesting because if this area used to be like all sand and Dan's on some cobble, maybe that cobble kind of got uncovered during Burbach. Or maybe it was always there and we just missed it. So this area has been pretty fruitful so far. We're probably over 100 feet from our closest waypoint made in the last couple days, but hopefully this area continues to produce.
So we've been getting all this awesome gold and it's all been like, there's gold everywhere, it's so great, everything's cool. Well, I just put in 6 hours down there and I saw gold sometimes. And I just kept moving. I'd work an area and I just kept moving and moving and moving. And then we were off in the sand and there was no gold out there, and it's tough. You go from like, this is easy, why doesn't everybody do it? And then you come up feeling like swinging a miss. But maybe part of my like mood was like, I got everything I could get.
Yeah, maybe.
Because you know, when you're moving around at the end of your dive, and I'm like, good luck, Alex. I mean,
right.
just kind of, you're on your own.
After a spotty dive, Dan's not confident he left Alex on any good material. But that's the way of the Bering Sea. One day it's hot, the next day it's not.
Good job, Alex.
Alex and Ross get out to the boat and the current is ripping. So they use the skiff to reposition the boat so they can get back to where Dan was working.
All right, so we've had a nasty rock jam. I can tell the suction's bad down there. Ross has lifted the jet and flare, and it's not in the jet and flare right now. And so I think it's in the hose somewhere. So, you know it's a bad one when you have to like take this hose up. So I had to come out of the water. We gotta find this rock right now. I'm hoping it's just like right in the hose here. No. So it's gotta be in the where it wraps around, and that's usually where they get stuck in the hose. So I'm taking this flashlight and I'm shining it under, and I'm looking for just any obstruction. Oh no! Drop the flashlight. Oh yeah, there it is. Just a ball of rocks down there. Throttle her up.
Alex got back down and the suction still didn't work. When you're working long hours and you have a massive rock jam like this, you end up cold and exhausted, climbing up and down the hose, looking for that rock. Just to add insult to injury, the motor's off, there's no hot water, you're freezing, and you don't always make the best decisions.
All right, well, good news and bad news. Good news is I found the flashlight. Bad news is there's no suction. I think it's a rock jam still, it has to be. If things are going really wrong, it's always 2 or 3 things. It's never one. And I think we got, yeah, multiple rock jams. I want to fix this rock jam, find it, fix it. I'm done. I should be on like my 4th or 5th hour of my dive now. To make this day even worse, I think when I floated the hose earlier, it blew out a lot of air and water, and I throttled up because I thought there was a rock jam and it would need to like get more air, like more force through there basically. In order to float the hose. And now, here's an effect of that. It looks like there's like no gold in the box. So not only did rock jams result in like a completely failed dive, more than I've ever seen in a shift, honestly. It looks like we have less gold than we started with. And I don't know if it's just somewhere else in the box or it got pushed into the mats or it just got dirty or something, but yeah, this sucks. This is probably one of the most demoralizing dives I've ever had. Probably the worst shift so far this year that I've had, certainly.
Telling Dan was the hardest, because he's all in on the gold diving. He's our best producer, he's up here the longest, he's in the water the most, and he's got the most riding on the line, and I could tell he was not happy. Dan and I kind of came up in this business together in a way as divers. I am the owner of the boat with Emily, so I think he's reserving his reaction. I think if I was somebody else, I'd probably hear it a lot harder from him. But I could tell he was angry, you know, and he was disappointed in it, rightfully so. The worst part about this mistake isn't losing your own money; it's losing the crew's money, because they rely on me and Emily to make good decisions, keep them safe, keep them on the gold, and then to go and undo their hard work that they risk their lives to get. it's just a crushing feeling. You know, Emily and I can eat the loss, and we will, but it sucks that it's coming out of their mouths too. But this is the nature of gold mining. You know, you win together and you lose together, and when you lose, everybody loses. So unfortunately, you know, the crew's gonna have to eat this one. We're not gonna find out till the next cleanup if it's really devastating. So I'm kind of holding my breath till then. Hopefully we still got some good numbers, but it's definitely a big shadow over the start of the season.
It's just us and our dive team that works on this show. We don't fundraise and we don't ask for donations, but if you want to support the show, go to beringseapater.com. You can buy gold straight from our sluice box. Every dollar that you spend goes right back into making this show and to making our operation bigger and better. Next summer, we're gonna dive deeper, trying to find the untouched, unworked ground that's gonna put lots of ounces in our sluice box. We're going to invest in getting an underwater drone so we can get more amazing gold shots and diver shots. If you wanna support this show, if you wanna support us, go to beringseapater.com and check it out.
Well, maybe all the gold just dumped out the back of the boat. So let's take a look and see what... I know what it looked like before. Well, I'll tell you this, none of this was here. This is not normal. Maybe all that gold just landed right here. That's my hope. Or it just went straight out the bag.
On our next episode, watch as Dan gets on the gold-rich quartz vein and Ross has his final chance to become a Bering Sea gold diver. If he can dive on his new mask, he's got a spot on the crew. But if he can't, he's going home. Click the top video to go on to our next video, or click the bottom to go back to the beginning of our series.